What is the most valuable car brand in the world right now? Well, for the moment, it's Tesla, but there's a new Chinese car maker that could be about to take over. First in China, and then maybe the rest of the world too. And I'm going to explain why. Anyway, I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching CarWow.
Buying a new car? Then head to CarWow, and my team will help you find your next car at a fair price. CarWow, your one-stop car buying comparison site.
This new Chinese brand I'm talking about is called NIO. No, it's not owned by Keanu Reeves or something. It's a Chinese car maker that was founded in 2014. It started out in a similar way to Tesla, by building an electric sports car. If you don't remember the first Tesla, it was a small electric convertible that came out in 2008. It could do around 240 miles on a charge, and it had 250 horsepower, so it could do 0 to 60 miles an hour in under 4 seconds, which was pretty quick. But NIO's first car makes the Tesla Roadster look like a go-kart. It was called the EP9, and it was a proper electric supercar. It had 4 motors instead of just one like the Tesla had, and each one powered a wheel, so it was 4-wheel drive. Together, these motors delivered 1,341 horsepower, which is not far what you get from a Bugatti Chiron. This meant the EP9 was seriously quick. It could do 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 2.7 seconds, but it was also seriously expensive. It cost more than £2 million back in 2016. That's almost 30 times the price of the original Tesla Roadster. But one of the coolest things about the EP9 wasn't to do with its speed or its price tag. It was all to do with recharging. And it's a feature that comes in all of NIO's new SUVs and saloons. Now let me explain. In a normal electric car, like a Tesla, you have to recharge the batteries when they go flat, and that takes time. Even today's super fast public chargers take about half an hour to boost your EV's batteries from empty to 80% full. And you can't keep fast charging your car over and over again because that's not good for the batteries. But NIO has invented a way to boost its cars from empty to 100% charged in under 10 minutes. Even Tesla's latest Superchargers can't do that. So how does it work? Well, most electric cars, including Teslas, use built-in batteries like your phone has. You can't take them out. But NIO builds all of its cars with swappable batteries, you know, like a torch or a TV remote. So when you're running low, you can just drive to a special NIO garage and swap your flat battery for a fully charged one. And you don't have to do it yourself. It's all automatic. You just reverse the car in and a robot unbolts the old battery and fits a new one. This means you can go from 0% charge to fully charged in less than 10 minutes. And it'll be a long time before you can recharge a Tesla that quickly. The technology just doesn't exist yet. And NIO's battery swapping service isn't very expensive. It costs about £18 each time, which is pretty much the same as it costs to fully recharge a Tesla using a supercharger. Now, while I'm on the subject, Tesla did experiment with battery swapping back in 2013, but it decided to focus on developing the supercharger network instead. And to be fair, Tesla does have a lot of superchargers. There are about 2,500 supercharger stations around the world, and around 300 of these are in China. This means that Tesla has about twice as many superchargers in China as NIO has battery swap stations. But the clever thing about NIO is that you don't have to swap the battery. You can still plug your car in to a normal public charging point if you want to. And there are about 500,000 of them in China, so you get the best of both worlds. And NIO has another trick up its sleeve. If you buy one of their cars, you get access to a fleet of rescue vans with built-in chargers. These will come out to you and help you if you run out of charge in the middle of nowhere, a bit like what the RAC is doing now with its special electric recovery truck. I actually used this service when I did a video where I got in a bunch of electric cars and I drove them up north as far as they'd go until they ran out of charge. Now, if you want to see that video, put a link to it there. Just click on that, go watch it. Alternatively, there is a link below the video as well. Anyway, back to NIO. There's another clever side to swappable batteries as well, because NIO can make its cars much cheaper by selling the batteries separately. So you can buy a new car with a battery, or you can choose to pay around £7,000 less and rent the battery from NIO, and it'll cost you about £180 a month. About a third of NIO owners are choosing to do this actually, and it means that NIO can make its cars cheaper than an equivalent Tesla. So let's look at NIO's cheapest car, which is the ES6 SUV. It's basically NIO's version of the Tesla Model Y. You can buy one in China with the battery included for the equivalent of £40,000, which is about £2,000 more than the cheapest Tesla Model Y. But if you choose to rent the battery, you could get a £7,000 discount, which makes the ES6 £5,000 cheaper than the Tesla. Tesla claims the Model Y will do 314 miles on a charge according to the latest WLTP range tests, while NIO says the ES6 can top 380 miles. But you need to know that NIO's figures come from the older NEDC range tests, which are just a little less realistic. Even in real-world driving, the NIO should still manage at least 250 miles on a charge, which isn't too bad. And it's no slouch either. The fastest performance version of the ES6 has 550 horsepower and will do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.7 seconds. There's also a coupe version called the EC6, which is even quicker. It does 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.5 seconds, which is only a second slower than the fastest Tesla Model Y performance. Now, if you need something bigger, NIO makes its own version of the 7-seater Model X. It's called the ES8. NIO says this car has a range of around 300 miles, which isn't too bad, and it only costs about £50,000 in China. That's almost £40,000 less than a Model X costs over there. Okay, so NIO doesn't have a hope of matching the Model X Plaid's performance. That car can do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds. But the ES8 will still do 0 to 60 miles an hour in under 5 seconds. And NIO doesn't just make SUVs, it also launched a brand new saloon called the ET7. This is basically NIO's version of the Tesla Model S. It's all about having the longest range, the fastest motors, and the best tech. Let's start with speed, because the quickest version of this car will do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 3.9 seconds, which is pretty blooming quick. It's just as quick as a BMW M4 competition. But don't forget that the Tesla Model S is the quickest accelerating production car ever. The latest Plaid Plus version does 0 to 60 miles an hour in less than 2 seconds. Not even hypercars like a Bugatti Chiron can do that. Anyway, back to the ET7, because Tesla might have the edge on it in terms of speed, but the NIO has more range. And let's face it, that's more important to most people who drive an electric car. Tesla says the Model S long range can do 412 miles on a charge according to the latest WLTP tests. And the Plaid Plus can do more than 520 miles. And if you work out the figures for the Teslas based on the NEDC calculation, like NIO uses, you'll be getting on for 600 miles of range. But NIO claims that ET7 can go even further. It reckons that its top spec cars can do 620 miles between charges. That's more than most petrol and diesel cars can do without having to stop to refuel. Part of the reason it can go so far is because it has one of the largest batteries of any electric car on sale. The ET7's batteries can store a whopping 150 kilowatt hours. That's 50% bigger than the 100 kilowatt hour batteries you get in the Tesla Model S. In case you were wondering, Tesla hasn't said what size batteries are in the Plaid Plus models, but they're probably around 120 to 130 kilowatt hours. Anyway, when you chuck in a bigger battery, you get more range. It's pretty much as simple as that. What's stopping Tesla from putting an even larger battery in the Model S? To show NIO who's boss. Well, they could, and it would definitely give the Model S even more range, but bigger batteries take longer to charge. It's just like giving a car a bigger fuel tank. You can drive further, but it takes longer to fill it up. And this is where NIO has the edge, because no matter how big they make their batteries, they can still take pretty much the same amount of time to swap them. So when you run out of juice, you'll be ready for another 620 miles in about 10 minutes. Tesla owners will be sitting there for half an hour waiting for their car to charge. And NIO isn't just some flash in the pan that you'll forget about in 5 years' time. It's sold more than 50,000 cars so far in China, and it's done more than 650,000 battery swaps. And it's just launched its 5th new car since 2014. That's an average of 1 new car every 18 months. Tesla has been around for more than 13 years, and it's only launched 6 different cars in that time. There's the original Tesla Roadster, the Model S, the Model X, the Model 3, and the Model Y, and the Cybertruck. All of those cars you can order. You can't order the new Roadster yet, so I've not included it. So you can understand why Elon might be a bit worried about this newcomer from China. But what do you think? Do you reckon NIO has what it takes to become the new Tesla? Would you buy one? And what do you think of this new battery swapping technology? Let me know in the comments. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you click on that box there, you can sign up to the CarWow newsletter, and we'll keep you up to date with all the latest car news in between these video uploads. Click on those windows for more content. Thanks for watching.